March.
2001. Oh, here at this place?
Yeah.
February.
February, okay.
February 26th?
Prior to that, we were over in El Cajon in an area that had gotten down over the years that I'd been there. And it got to be where I thought either I had to go big or go home, and I really wasn't ready to go home, even though, you know, I'm at the age when I should probably think of downsizing, not upsizing. But it just is what it is, and I think you could all hear that I'm kind of fighting something right now because life is stressful, and this, you know, I was just thinking about coming and listening to Mary and thinking about the fact that, you know, even for me to come here and listen to Mary, I'm thinking, well, what else could I be doing at the same time as I'm listening to Mary? I mean, it's just ridiculous that I can't sit here for however long this takes and listen to Mary and probably gain something from it about myself and how I need to just de-stress and work on what ways I can lower stress in my life, because these things like happen to all of us. I mean, I see a lot of people say, oh, doctors aren't supposed to get sick. Well, I'm sorry. It happens, and I do feel that I've done, I mean, most of you know that I've had some issues with asthma and bronchitis and things like that, and I feel like I'm, you know, so much stronger, and I feel like I'm getting through this so much better with some of the tools that we have available to us here, such as ozone. I mean, we gave a talk one day about ozone, and we probably will do another talk about ozone, but we have a sauna back here, and I've been in that sauna almost every day, and I have ear ozone to use at home, and a friend of mine was sick at the same time, and you know, now she's going on an antibiotic, and I thought, well, if I didn't have these tools to use, I would be on an antibiotic too. It doesn't mean the antibiotics are bad, it just means I try to avoid it. I mean, I try to avoid as much medicine as I can, which I think all of you, most patients who come to this clinic feel very similarly, that they don't want to take a lot of medications, that we feel like this world we live in where there's a pharmaceutical solution to almost everything we could come up with as a problem. There could be a pharmaceutical solution, and most of us find that those solutions have their own risks associated with those solutions. It's not that we should never have medical management or, you know, those kind of solutions, but we all know that they have their own set of issues. So I'm really thrilled to have someone like Mary to come in and be part of our team here and help all of us learn how to manage stress a little better, manage anxiety a little better. I think there's so many of us that are dealing with underlying issues like anxiety and just stress in general. I still have my cell phone in the pocket, but I'm going to leave it in there. See if I can get through. I will put it on silence, Mary. So we can get through this talk with, and Mary, I've known Mary for a while. She came to me when I worked in Alpine, and she was a Reiki master at that time, and she was also in studying to work as a social worker, marriage and counselor. And I thought, wow, there's just so many, every patient we have here could probably benefit from that kind of an approach. Hi, sir, come on in. Is there someone sitting? I don't know, watch this in the car. Okay, there's no chair. So, I mean, I felt at that time
She saved you a seat over there.
Okay, sorry. No, go ahead. No problem. We're not going to stress about that either. That's good. So I felt like almost every, you know, there wasn't a patient in my practice that wouldn't benefit from something like what Mary had to offer. Just the fact that most of this is out-of-pocket expense, and that was one of the things I tried to do when I first met Mary, is say, can we figure out a way to bill for this and have insurance cover it for patients, and it just never would work. And so, you know, Mary's not that expensive, and I think sometimes we just have to invest in ourselves and you know, this kind of an approach. So anyway, with much ado, I met Mary. Mary left me for a while, and then all of a sudden when I got in this office, it was lots of reasons during that time when I got in this office, she showed back up and oh, Mary, yeah, I still think we need you. So I was really happy to see her, and I'm so happy she's part of our practice. So, without no further ado, Mary.
And I am so delighted to be here. So, welcome. I am so excited to see so many of you here. To hear a little bit more about the practical healing art of Reiki. Many of you have not experienced Reiki and you just want to know a little bit about what is Reiki. And some of you here have come for sessions, a few sessions, and you want to understand it a little bit more. And many of you have integrated Reiki into your daily lives and you experience the benefits. And so you want to know more. Today, what we're going to talk about when we take a look at Reiki as a practical healing art is an overview of how it supports your health and well-being, how it enhances and complements your existing treatment plans, and how and why stress reduction is so beneficial to the healing process. So a little bit about me. I've been teaching Reiki since 2005. My passion in the healing arts goes way before that. I realize I've always had a deep curiosity and a deep interest in how we heal. How does our body feel? And I've always just wanted to know more. I was a psychology major. I now have a master's in counseling. I was interested in spirituality. I began awakening to the body-mind-spirit connection as I spent over a decade working in sales and education in the nutritional supplements field. After my career in sales and education, I spent many years working in the hospital setting, both acute care and behavioral health, and working intimately with the interdisciplinary teams. And while at the same time I was working there, I was also teaching at 2 of the local holistic colleges, teaching Reiki. I came to appreciate that no matter where we are on the spectrum of addressing our health, whether it be from prevention and wellness to maintenance and vitality, or treating the disease process, Reiki is absolutely a tremendous support. So what I'd like to begin with is what is Reiki. In a nutshell, Reiki is a spiritual healing practice that can help return us to balance. It's functioning on every level. It brings balance to every level, physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual, regardless of our state of health. Reiki utilizes the divine life force energy, the life force energy that animates these amazing human bodies that we live in, the creative energy that flows through the beauty of nature. It's the energy of life. Life force exists in all living beings. So when we talk about Reiki, Reiki is a Japanese word that simply means REI, spiritual knowledge, cosmic knowledge, wisdom. And Ki means life force energy, the very life force itself. Reiki is considered the ancient art of hands-on healing. It's renewed at this time on the planet, I think because we need it. We need it because we have become such a stressed out population. But it's not new. It's not new. It has been utilized in every wisdom tradition and every culture since the beginning of time. So the ancient art of hands-on healing. So the benefits of Reiki, these are just few. Releases stress and tension, promoting deep relaxation. Brings balance and harmony to the body, the mind, and the spirit. There's no contraindication. Reiki does no harm. It eases symptoms of chronic illness. It supports the body's natural ability to heal itself, and that's very important. It restores the body's this body wants to be in balance. Releases pain and anxiety, improves sleep and digestion, relief from some side effects of medications. Those can be troublesome. It's non-pharmacological, provides a greater sense of well-being, guaranteed, and just helps us to feel more motivated, absolutely more motivated as we experience more peace and more self-awareness. So how does Reiki serve conventional medicine? Well, Reiki supports an invitation to wellness, and that's what this center is all about. That's what Dr. Decker is all about. It does not attack disease, but supports the well-being within us and strengthens, once again, that natural ability to restore to balance. The NIH, or the National Institute of Health, and the NCCAM, that's the National Center for Complementary and Alternative Therapies, classifies Reiki as a form of energy medicine or a biofield therapy. And we'll talk more about biofield therapy as we move along. Reiki supports the doctor and the treatment plan that you already have. The doctor's role is, number one, to know how to address the medical diagnosis. And that's a very take charge approach. Secondly, the doctor's role is to engage the patient as an ally in his or own health and well-being. And that's a very collaborative approach. And again, that's what this center is about, collaboration. We're going to invite Reiki into our own self-healing, our own collaborative inner, taking responsibility for our health and well-being. So Reiki and integrative medicine. Well, this is an integrative medicine center. Integrative medicine embraces the notion that the body is innately self-healing and attempts where possible to promote healing rather than just suppress symptoms. Integrative medicine makes use of both conventional and alternative therapies to stimulate healing. Lifestyle modification becomes cornerstone to preventing illness. We all know that. Diet, exercise, and stress management are paramount. Integrative medicine is the new paradigm. It's treating the whole person. I love this quote. If you don't take care of the psychological, spiritual, emotional, or nutritional issues in keeping your body healthy, we need to reevaluate the expectation that only an external remedy will make it well. So weaving Reiki into conventional medicine. Reiki, again, allows and always encourages a person toward balance. When we are out of balance, we feel stress. We know what that feels like. When we're recovering from an illness, we feel stressed. Our bodies feel stressed. It's stressful. We don't sleep as well. A stressful event creates a stress response in our physiology. Emotional stress negatively affects the autonomic nervous system. And our body is constantly responding to our emotional state. The autonomic nervous system controls our heart rate. HRV, as we know, is always on the monitor, say if you're inpatient. We're looking at the HRV to see how quickly a body is restoring to balance. And the heart rate variability is a physiological measure that indicates if a body is recovering from stress. And that's key, because we are designed, and it is our birthright, to recover from being out of balance and or stress. So how does Reiki support the autonomic nervous system? Reiki positively affects the autonomic nervous system by calming the nervous system, gently calming the nervous system. Reiki creates an immediate shift in one state, and that continues to develop over time. Every session is unique. The body draws in just what it needs. That's the amazing thing about Reiki. Reiki knows what to do. It is the divine intelligence. So the body draws in just what it needs to restore that balance. And again, strengthens the individual's innate ability to come into balance. So how Reiki energy supports. Reiki provides relaxation and stress reduction through balancing the chakras, or the energy centers in our body. The chakras function to distribute this life force throughout this amazing body. If we were to take a look at this chart right here, Reiki energy comes into all living things through the crown chakra. And the portals called chakras disperse more energy so that they know what to do. It's pretty amazing that we don't think, we don't tell our system digest, we don't tell our brain to think, we don't, it's on automatic pilot. So the chakras function to distribute and maintain energy throughout the physical body, but they're also balancing what are called our auric field. So the four-body system, which is often referred to as the emotional body, the mental body, and our spiritual body. So the body, the mind, and the spirit. In this auric field, Okay, so we talked about that. I'm going to show you a picture, so it might make a little more sense for those who are interested. Here's a picture here. And chakra simply is a Sanskrit word that means wheel or spinning. And in the ancient yogic tradition, the holy men of India, they could see energy and they could see that it spun in a circle. Balance would be clockwise. And so if we were to see energy, it would look something like this, coming in through the crown and then distributing through the third eye, the throat, the heart. Called the solar plexus, the sacral, and the root. Grounding us to Mother Earth, connecting us to the divine. We are spiritual beings having a human experience. This chart here explains a little bit more, and I do have a handout for you that helps you to correlate. Every single chakra correlates to an organ and to an endocrine gland. Every single chakra also correlates to an emotional response. You know, that's a God-given gift, is to feel. You know, sometimes we don't want to feel, but it is a gift of being in a body, is to feel. And the chakras, by their design, keep that energy flowing. So we'll just take a brief look here. We have the root chakra. It's located at the base of the spine. It has everything to do with safety, security, trust, and survival. It's connected to the reproductive glands. It's connected to the basic structures of the human body, the bones, the teeth, that sense of being here, and it's safe to be here. The second chakra, the sacral chakra, about 2 inches below the belly button, feeds the large intestine and the endocrine glands that support the reproductive glands as well. This has everything to do with sexuality, creativity, and we say the pain of first relationships, which end up being old relationships. So that's why we get a lot of issues right here, and we feel some nervous anxiety and tension in that second chakra. And so as we open and balance and release, things come into clarity. The solar plexus right here, right above the belly button, has everything to do with being in our power, which means to feel our sense of purpose, with confidence, with love, to feel our worthiness. It helps us to digest our emotions, as well as the solar plexus. We need this opening and balance because it feeds the stomach, the gallbladder, the small intestine, the pancreas. We know the pancreas secretes the digestive enzymes to help us break down our food and utilize that energy. Very, very important. So it's both digesting emotions and digesting our food for energy, for recovery. The heart chakra. The heart chakra is bringing the life force needed not only for the heart, but for the lungs and the nervous system and the circulatory system. The endocrine gland associated with that is the thymus, which supports our immune functioning. The energy comes up and through the shoulders and out through the hands. So that upper back is heart chakra as well. Everything to do with love. Love can be complicated. It can be simple and it can be complicated. We have the throat chakra right here in the center of our throat. And the energy really comes up upon the shoulders. It has everything to do with communication and speaking our truth. And speaking our truth can be even to myself. You know, I'm a big fan of journaling, and that's why it's so important. You want to open that throat chakra up. It's connected to our thyroid and our parathyroid. And we see a lot of complications with the thyroid. The third eye, right at the center of the brow. The energy, the life force that comes in is for the brain, the cerebellum. It provides the energy necessary for these eyes that see, the sinus passages, the auditory passages. Not only that, it provides the ability to see the bigger picture of life with more spiritual awareness, with more, oh, I can see, even in a difficult situation, I can see the bigger picture. The crown chakra lies at the top of the head, and again, that's where the energy of the life force flows in. This is not associated with any one organ. It is connected to the pineal gland, but it bathes this whole organism. There's a sense of peace, there's a sense of connectedness when this is open and balanced. What we would say in a Reiki class, when our crown chakra is opened and balanced, we feel trust in our connection. When the root chakra is open and balanced, we feel we can trust life. It's safe to be here having this experience. In this slide, you'll see the chakras as correlated to the endocrine glands, and you'll see the association. So the crown, the pineal gland, the third eye, it's not on this chart, but it's the pituitary, the throat, the thyroid, the heart, the thymus, the solar plexus, this is a little low, but it's the pancreas, the kidneys, and the adrenal functioning is solar plexus. You know, those stress hormones that get secreted. And we really want to allow them some love to calm down. The second chakra, the reproductive organs, and the large intestine, and the root is similar. Here's another picture, just with a little more vibrancy and color to see the associations between the chakras and the endocrine glands and the organs. You can kind of take a look at this picture. So Reiki, restoring balance to this amazing body. This is just a simple template of what an auric field would look like if you could see it. We have the physical body. Of course, the chakras are distributing energy all throughout the organs within it. Right outside the physical body is what we call the emotional body. Right outside the emotional body is the mental body and the spiritual bodies. In a deeper training, we would go more into this. All we need to know is that Reiki bathes the whole system, the whole biofield. This is a little more intricate view where you see the energy coming in, flowing through all the chakras and the auric field. I don't know if any of you are familiar with Alex Gray's artwork. Recently, many years ago, but not too many, he was at an art studio in La Jolla. Amazing work. It's a pretty amazing body that we live in, so we want to take good care of it. So let's talk about stress and what happens to our chakras. Because if we are made up of Reiki energy, if we are made up of life force, why am I just not, flowing and functioning? And why am I not just chronically healthy? Well, when we are under stress, the chakras crimp and they shut down and they begin to weaken. And so you can see, if we were just to look at that, what happens to the life force? Can't get through. It's like a king toes. And then what happens to the organs over here? They too are not receiving the energy needed to fully function, to be vital and alive and supportive. So under stress, our chakras contract, weaken, or close. Emotional reactions to that stress tend to be shut down. You can feel it in your body, right? Shut down. Contraction. Muscles contract. We lean forward. We tighten. We get nervous. We project a lot. We get a lot of our energy out by projecting. It's either that person or it's life itself. It's not me. It's all of this. And we react versus respond. So Reiki facilitates the opening and the balancing of the chakras. And any of you who are in this room who have experienced a Reiki session, you know it works immediately. It absolutely works immediately, no matter what we're coming into a session with. When we're relaxed and balanced, we can deal, we can heal. And what I like to say is, at the end of a Reiki session, my life circumstances are right there at the door, and they're still the same. But I have changed. So I now leave a Reiki session, and I interact with my world and my circumstances from an open and balanced place. Makes a world of difference. Balancing our energy improves our sense of connection. our felt sense of connection. We're always connected, but we begin to feel it more intimately. Not only to myself, but to others, to life itself, to the divine. Reiki enables the recipient, once again, to open up that channel so that we are free to remain in balance. You know, it's not just a one-time thing, but we open and balance the chakras, they continue to flow. One of the things we might say in a Reiki training, if we literally could just slow down and accept life as it is and allow ourselves to come into balance, things do start to take care of themselves. And our chakras would be open and flowing even in stress. And that's health, actually, is to move through stress from an open and balanced place. This template here is to acknowledge these amazing organs, this system, under stress. These are some of the things that typically come up when we're stressed, when we're shut down, when we're resisting. Increased depression, insomnia, a weakened immune system, high blood pressure, high blood sugar, stomach aches, low sex drive, tense muscles, headaches, heartburn, rapid breathing, heart-related issues, our pounding heart, fertility issues, erectile issues, and all just everything starts to go a little bit out of balance. That's a sign. Those are all symptoms of stress. So let's look at the benefits of Reiki on stress. Again, Reiki heals by balancing the chakras. And this little simple handout I'll give to you in a moment. The simple fact is feeling better is a spiritual experience. It really is. Our actual experience of Reiki may vary from session to session, but trust that it's always working to bring that balance physically, mentally, or emotionally. And meanwhile, something far more subtle is happening in the background, very gently, very gradually, very silently. Reiki is opening an inner spiritual connection that significantly changes the way a person experiences life. A sense of connectedness that can help transform our negative attitudes or help us to see that bigger picture from a different perspective, and to allow us to feel a sense of meaning and purpose, even if it's a challenge. The most valuable gift Reiki offers could very well be that. I feel better. I feel better. I feel better about myself. I feel better about my life. I feel closer to others. That's the cornerstone of health and well-being. I feel better. So Reiki and medical research. I'm going to touch on that. A Chinese maxim advises, for those who don't believe, there is never enough proof. And for those who believe, no proof is necessary. Research is important. Clinical outcomes show effectiveness from a scientific perspective. While research on Reiki is clearly valuable, the research tools that are utilized to evaluate pharmaceuticals really aren't appropriate for holistic medicines treatments. So while it may be true that the benefits of Reiki aren't measurable, many are. Many are, and should be studied. So I'm going to touch on Reiki research today. Today, research consists of case studies, descriptive studies, and randomized control trials. The NIH, so the National Institute of Health, and the NCCAM, once again the National Institute for Health, or National Center for Complementary and Alternative Medicine, have done studies on Reiki effectiveness for stress, helping patients with advanced AIDS, diabetes, fibromyalgia, and prostate cancer. UCSD, I'm going to touch on a study that I connected to with UCSD and the Samuel Eye Institute. And that was a study on the biofield therapy as it relates to fatigue and cortisol variability in breast cancer survivors. For the NIH studies and the NCCAM, the results were promising. Decreased levels of stress hormones, improvement in immune indicators, improved blood pressure, subjective improvements in anxiety, pain, and fatigue, decreased heart rate, improvement in mood and functioning of depressed patients, and overality. I'll take that. The study of biofield therapy. So, at UCSD, the positive influence reported by the inpatients receiving energetic healing therapies, and it's profoundly integrated into the hospital settings. If you don't know that already, it's in every hospital, in every major hospital. Reiki, healing touch, the energetic healing is an active part of the treatment, if they so choose. So, in the study of biofield therapy done by UCSD, they started off with the definition. What is a biofield therapy? It's an energy field associated with a living being that not only surrounds the body, but actually permeates the entire body, the cells, everything. Secondly, the health of the body is dependent on the proper functioning energy of the physical body and the interaction between the two bodies, between the energy body and the physical body as we know it. According to the National Institute of Health, biofield therapies include practices such as Reiki, healing touch, therapeutic touch, Qigong, prana healing, and laying on of hands, and Jinshin Jiatsu. So we're going to talk about the study at UCSD with the Samueli Institute. This study was done for cancer-related fatigue. Why? Because it was being reported that the fatigue was lasting 5 to 10 years beyond remission and after post-chemotherapy. And that adversely affects quality of life. I think we'd all agree. So what they did was a 4-week study, and it was comprised of Group 1. They received biofield therapy. They received 8 one-hour hands-on healing sessions twice a week. And Group 2, they received mock therapy. And what that means is the practitioners were trained to mimic the hand positions of a healer, to disengage from the patient during the treatment, to go into planning mind and really, look like a healer and present like one, like I'm interested and I'm engaged, but not to be, to really just like start doing your shopping list in your head. Yeah, it's pretty funny. We do that all the time, sometimes. Not as healers, but. Yeah. And then group 3 was a weightless control. There were 76 fatigue breast cancer survivors, 68 completed the study, 8 dropped out, and 3 before it even started. The study aims were primarily to study fatigue, depression, quality of life, and cortisol variability. Secondary aims were to examine potential role of treatment belief on the outcome. So here are the findings in its simplicity. The healing group level of fatigue dropped by 1/2 in the first week, and it continued to drop. The mock group responded to the touch, but not so drastic at all, but did respond. The wait list, there was no change in the fatigue. In terms of cortisol, they noticed a slight change in the movement and direction of regaining slope, which is considered to be positive, considering the circumstances. Quality of life, the healing group had the highest increase, and in terms of depression, the highest decrease was in the healing group. So Reiki today, we mentioned it is integrated into the hospital settings as something that you can ask for, as an adjunct therapy that's done by mostly volunteers. The benefits of Reiki can and are being delivered in the most critical of settings. Already, right now, they are. They are in the cardiac care unit. They are in the delivery room. They are in the operating room, pre and post-op. I've been privileged to serve there through UCSD's integrative medicine as a volunteer. In the intensive care units, in emergency rooms, and in conjunction with chemotherapy as they're receiving. So when we look at biofield and Reiki, it brings balance to all layers of the auric field. It allows that body to receive whatever treatment, whatever change, whatever lifestyle change, whatever medication. It allows the body to relax and receive and do what it needs to do, restore balance. That's why we say it restores balance to our body, physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. So now I just want to briefly look at spirit. It's body, mind, spirit connection. So we're going to look at consciousness. A traditional African medicine maxim states, there is no healing without changing consciousness. Without creating balance in the vibrational blueprint of reality, people continue to manifest the same physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual imbalances. More simply put, you can't solve a problem with the same consciousness that created it. And that's Albert Einstein. Consciousness shifts as we feel more connected. We feel more connected to self, to others, to the divine, and that's what a Reiki session enables us to do. Our consciousness shifts. Well, how does a change of consciousness impact a person? People report again, feeling better about themselves, about their situations. We come into more acceptance. We feel less alone. We begin to see life differently. We begin to have more sense of self-agency, taking care of ourselves. More love, where maybe we withheld it. Taking more responsibility, or maybe before we only saw obstacles, see more possibility. Maybe we find ourselves letting go of some burden of anger or resentment. It's just no longer serving. So the benefits of consciousness shift are empowerment. We feel more positive, and we feel supported in our healing process. That's very important, to feel supported. We begin to feel that support within. And that leads to increased adherence to whatever our therapeutic protocol is by our doctors. We see the bigger picture. We have less resistance, more acceptance, and more present moment awareness. That's where healing happens, in the present moment. And Reiki supports us with that as well, coming into the present moment. It's where all healing happens. So if we were to try to say what's a Reiki session, what's an experience like? I love this. Reiki is like the ocean. The experience of Reiki is constant, yet varied. Whether walking along the ocean's edge, watching the waves roll in and out, whether you're taking a dip under the ruckus waves, you're just feeling the breeze on your face, the sun on your back, it changes you. It changes you. Just simply being with the ocean changes our perspective. And we leave feeling better about ourselves. We leave feeling refreshed. All is well, right here, right now, as it is, and I'm relaxed. So what to expect in a session? We lay fully clothed on a massage table. The practitioner will place her hands on all the hand positions, which will be the chakras that we mentioned. So we do quite a few positions on the head. Why? Because we're in our head so much, and we want to relax and drop down and let the energy move through. And so the practitioner will gently move through all the chakras, especially where maybe you're feeling more tightness or tension. We trust Reiki to do what needs to be done. It always does, and in the gentlest way possible. Most people will become very relaxed. You may even drift off to sleep. You may find yourself talking a lot. Either does not stop the Reiki flow. A session usually lasts 45 minutes to an hour and a half, depending on need. Typically, the practitioner will ask if you have an intention, if you have any tension or anything that's physically bothering you, or just what's going on in your life. You know, sometimes we disconnect from what's going on in our life to a state of stress in our body. And we always allow time at the end for connecting, for communicating. It's a big part of integrating what you received and to create a transition between the session and then moving back out into your daily life. And the meaning of the session ultimately is up to you. The So how much treatment and how often is it needed? Reiki is cumulative, although many experience great relief from their first treatment. Absolutely you will. We recommend that you allow yourself to try 3 or 4 before you make an evaluation. Is this working? Come and let the body receive. Although Reiki sessions are generally relaxing, again, everyone is a little bit different. And always relaxing, but depending on need. Each session meets you where you're at. Where are you today? Where are you in the present moment? And moves you from that place closer to your unique inner balance. Sometimes it may take you into such a deep sleep again. You may wonder, did I drift off? Did I miss something? How will I know if Reiki is helping me? Well, each experience of Reiki and each session is unique, again. We just ask you to reflect, to go within, to know, do I feel a shift? Do I feel an overall experience in how I see my life situation or myself or my feeling state? Or journal. For example, if you came in with insomnia, start to know, well, am I falling asleep more easily? Am I staying asleep? Am I waking up in the middle of the night? Just noting, connecting. We see Reiki as self-care. Those of us who are committed to allowing this as a daily self-healing practice. It's something, if something helps us feel better, it's valuable. This is very important. Relaxation is not a luxury. Relaxation is not a luxury. It's a biochemical event and a medical necessity. That is really important for us because we can't just keep stressing ourselves out and expect our bodies to recoup. It's a medical necessity. We typically live so far away from a sense of well-being that we lose sight of what we're missing. What we're missing is reduction of stress and pain, a steadying of our mood, expansion of our self-awareness, increased productivity, and more enjoyment in life. This life is good. No matter what's going on, it's a gift to be here. And also, lastly, this is very important. We have no way of knowing what suffering we avoid by caring for ourselves regularly with Reiki. It's prevention. I see the healing arts as being a channel for peace. And I'd like to close today with my wish for you that comes from the wise Rascal Flatts. And that is that this life become all that you want it to, that your worries stay, your dreams stay big, your worries stay small. And while you're off there getting wherever you're getting to, that you know you're loved and that you feel God's grace in it all and that you and your family be well.